Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'll be going over the 10.0 reveal for Dragonflight. And yeah, if you want a live reaction, I did already load that up, live reaction to the reveal. This is just going to be going over everything that they talked about in the main reveal with the three main devs there. And they did do like after shows and there was interviews everywhere. This is mostly just going to break down that first thing, but I have watched all the other stuff, so I might add context in from other things, but just going to be addressing the main points of the presentation basically. The presentation started with artwork from all the expansions. I'm only putting this in here because I thought it was really cool, actually. Really set the mood as a presentation. This whole thing is, trying to get you hyped for the expansion. So to see like some cool things from past expansions that might be your favorite expansion, whether that's Burning Crusade or Mists of Pandaria, whatever your favorite was, Legion, you get to see some old stuff from there. And I thought that was really neat. And so that's how they open it up. First thing that they talked about, they went right into talking about basically the main thing that I took notes on, that they talked about was continuing to not only listen to players, but to kind of change how they had been doing things for quite a while, really. I mean, honestly, pretty much since the beginning of Warcraft, World of Warcraft at least, and that's like having these really high friction things in game. That it's kind of punishing on players, frankly. And players have basically said we don't want that because other games don't do that, and we just want to play the game at this point. Like we really like Mythic Plus people will say, well, I just want to do Mythic Plus. Raiders will say, I just want to go to my raid. I don't want to do other stuff. PvPers just say, I want to queue arena all day without having to worry about these other things. And that's the kind of thing that they have been working towards, and hopefully will continue to work towards, going here into 10.0. It certainly looks promising. And, it's good to hear that. I mean, all they can do, 9.1.5 was a great step. 9.2 was another step. They're saying the right things for 10.0. So, they're trending good direction, and they're saying the right thing to keep trending in the right direction. So all we can do is wait and see if they continue to do it. But I think since they are trending that direction, it's good to it's fine to have your hopes up for it, because they've shown the past two updates that that's where they're headed. In 9.2.5, they're going to have cross faction play, which is again step in the right direction. So I think we can be optimistic about that. The next thing was a cinematic. I really enjoyed it because it really fooled me. You can watch the cinematic. You can watch my reaction to the whole reveal, that I posted on my channel as well. So the cinematic is, without breaking the whole thing down, basically it starts off with what we figure out are watchers, like Titan watchers or Titan constructs, and they're watching over the Dragon Isles. But so much time has passed that only like one of them remains. The other one's like broke due to time, or did something nefarious break them? I guess I don't know. They made it seem like it was just to time though, like to wear, like age and wear, and they're made out of stone, so like the stone was like decayed or whatever, or eroded, and one survived. He's able to light the beacon. Doing so causes him to fall to his doom, but we don't know. We don't know for sure at this point that it's dragons, right? And it's pretty far into the trailer. And right before he hits the ground and dies, Alexstrasza swoops in and saves him, which is really really neat. And then you just see tons of dragons in the air. Obviously, if you haven't seen the cinematic, go watch it. That's all. That's the biggest thing I can say. If you haven't seen the cinematic, just go watch it because it's really neat. My reaction to it's pretty good, but you can just watch the regular cinematic as well. The next thing they go into afterwards is a dragon race that'll be out, the Drakthir. So this is going to be a ranged and healer dragon class, basically. Really cool. They are a unique hero class, so they can be only one thing, like Death Knight. Like many classes could be Death Knight, so I guess that's not a good example. It's closer to Demon Hunter, where it's only like Blood Elves and Night Elves that can be Demon Hunters. They are invokers. Is it invoker or evoker? I'm not sure, but they are. We'll just go with evoker for this video. They can only be evokers, and evokers can only be dragons. This is because evoker class uses like abilities like using their wings to like fly over the battlefield, and like Scorch Fire, for example. I thought that was the coolest ability. They can also glide like demon hunters do as well. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so some of their abilities will literally use their wings, and so that's why only the dragons can be them, and only them being evokers can be dragons. So it looks actually really cool if you are into it. Like, I know some people were saying, there were some people saying, "Oh, this is dumb," but like almost, I would say like 95% of my guild all think it's really cool, and hopefully we have enough people to play other roles in the next expansion, because it does look really cool to me too. Although I'll probably stick with Rat Paladin. They also are doing a complete talent rework. So we're getting out of the Mists of Pandaria era talents up until now. They've been fairly similar. The style's been the same. And we are going back to talent trees, a little bit more unique. And it looked like, from what I could tell, there's a lot of, unknown, but it looked like there's a point for every level. So it looked like maybe there's 70 points. I could be wrong on this. And level 70 would be the cap. And you have a tree for utility and a tree for like your spec or whatever. So like, let's say Rat Paladin. So I would have Rat Paladin, and then I would have general Paladin stuff, like utility stuff. And you can put points into both sides of this. It didn't seem like there was any cap. Maybe there is on how many you can put on each side. But you can go tons of utility. You can go tons of Paladin talents, or Rat Paladin talents in this example. But you could kind of set that up how you want. A lot of people were joking, and Raidbots, I think, posted a tweet saying, like, to simulate all this stuff will be absolutely ridiculous. Maybe that's the point of it on their end, so people don't simulate or can't, because it's so many iterations or whatever. I mean, some people still will, and then somebody will just copy them, of course. But yeah, it's a lot, but it looks really cool. It looks really nice. A lot of the player power is going to be tied up in this talent tree instead of through systems, and the only thing that seems to unlock the talent points is by leveling. So just being max level gets you access to your player power essentially, and you can kind of mix it around. And I'm sure like the other player power will be added like through tier sets and stuff, right? Maybe they add like a special button that you get to press, like a covenant ability or something later on, something simple. But doesn't appear to be many systems involved with this, so that's kind of cool. You can also save loadouts with this, so you have all these talents and stuff. To go through and change them all every boss pull or something could be a little bit rough. So they didn't say how many loadouts, which will be kind of like a hot button issue, I'm sure. But there are different loadouts you can save. So you have, so let's continue. I play Rat Paladin, let's keep using that as an example. I have my Rat Paladin single target loadout, I have my Rat Paladin AoE loadout, and I have my Rat Paladin PvP loadout. Let's say there's 3, and some people are going to want way more than 3, but let's say there's 3. I have those 3 loadouts. For most cases, I'm pretty much good to go. And instead of a PvP one, since I don't PvP that much, I might have a Rat Paladin multi-purpose one, or high utility one, or one that I use only for bosses that I don't get a ton of uptime or something like that, right? So that's, or one that I only use for Mythic Plus, even though it's could be the AoE one. Maybe I only use this one for Mythic Plus, and that could be a loadout as well. So the loadouts you'll be able to switch whenever you want, and the talents you'll just be able to switch like when you're in the city, like talents now. So you can switch, you can change your loadouts, all of them in the city, and then after you leave the city, you can swap freely between your loadouts. So you don't have to be in a city to swap the loadouts. The next thing is new UI. So this looked pretty cool. Basically trying to clean up the UI, because it's pretty cluttered, and there's a lot to look at on different parts of the screen. It basically looked like they changed the bags to like one button to open up bags. They didn't have all the buttons for the open up like mounts and stuff like that on the screen. So I don't know if that's something that you have to bind to do, or with this UI. They also said you could like still use the old UI, I believe, or like some of the aspects of that were still available. And then like you could move around your bars and like your map and your frames and stuff like that. You could always move your frames around, but basically just looks a lot cleaner, honestly. So if you're someone who likes to have a really clean screen, this actually would be a really good change for you. And just trying to make it so people don't have to use add-ons to do this. Although they said the add-ons are still going to be available to use, they're not planning on like blocking the add-ons or nothing like that. They're also doing a profession revamp. So this looked really interesting to many people, honestly. Some people were skeptical of it just because it's different than what WoW has done before. Just trying to focus on professions a little bit more. And the biggest thing, I think, because we don't have a ton of details, right? So the biggest thing I think is like the work order system. So there'll be like a separate auction house for this. And you can be like, hey, I have mats. Someone make me the boots I want. I'll give you 100 gold. Profession person walks up to the thing, checks all the things that people want made. Oh, I can make those boots. Oh, he's giving me the mats for him and he's paying me 100 gold. Okay, I'll just make them really quick. You pick up the mats. You make the thing. Or I don't know exactly how it works. Maybe you have to make it right then and there with the mats so you don't steal them. That would make more sense, right? So you click the button, it crafts the boots, probably puts them in the thing, gives you the gold, sends them the boots, or sends you the gold in the mail, sends them the boots in the mail, however it works. And it's a good way to make gold, essentially. So you'll see a lot of crafters, a lot of gold makers just sitting at this thing, filling out work orders for people for whatever they might need. So it's kind of a cool system. And in general, a lot of people said that it's similar to, like, some people were saying it's similar to New World Professions. Other people were saying it's similar to Final Fantasy Professions. But like all the people saying that were saying that like in a positive way. So I'm generally positive about it. Very looking forward to that. And then the last major thing I wrote down in my notes was the dragon riding. And this might be the coolest thing they talked about. So in the new area, you're going to start with flying. Not traditional flying. You're not going to be able to use your mounts. But everyone's going to get a dragon. And this dragon will be customizable. So you'll be able to change the way it looks, its armor or non-armor, its head shape, whatever, because there's different types of dragons, its color, and all this stuff. And it's kind of like a system, right? So as you level this thing up, as you level up your dragon riding, it's called, you will be able to go faster, do more tricks, like aerial tricks, do more stuff, essentially, like execute things better, fly for longer, fly higher, fly faster, as you said, things like that. So this thing looks really, really cool. A lot of people are saying it's similar to Guild Wars 2. So if you play Guild Wars 2, I guess think of that. And it looks really neat. And the good news is everyone will be flying from day one because of this thing. Your mounts probably won't be usable there, at least not your flying mounts will probably not be usable there. But you'll have, maybe at like the end of the expansion they will. But for the beginning, you'll only be able to ride on these cool dragons. So you'll just see dragons flying everywhere in the sky, which would be kind of cool. And a lot of people use dragon mounts anyways, but literally everyone will be using a dragon mount, which makes sense because it is the Dragon Isles. So that's my breakdown of the launch event thing. Like I said, check out my reaction video. If you, I feel like I had some pretty good reactions to the content. I'm definitely hyped for it. If you're someone who's hyped for World of Warcraft as well and still enjoy the game, I would say to watch it. That's it for this one, though. As always, I do ask you to subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.